Let's see.
Michael, how are you from? That was a season.
Good morning. I'm Berks County Commissioner Christian Leinbach, and I want to welcome you to our Commissioners Board meeting for August the 31st. Hard to believe it's the last day in August, starting September tomorrow. We are broadcasting live via Microsoft Teams live event. We're also on BCTV as well as Facebook and YouTube Live. As always, let's begin the meeting this morning with a moment of silence followed by a pledge. And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Are there any additions or corrections for the August 24th meeting minutes? Hearing none, the minutes was as presented. We did have one executive session. That session was yesterday, and it dealt with real estate and personnel. At this time, I'll recognize my executive assistant, Anne Marie Grill, to read the public comment policy.
Thank you, Commissioner Leinbach. Public comment will be accepted in person and through the Q&A function. Please include your first name, last name, and municipality for all comments. Any comments without name and municipality will not be considered. Each citizen can submit one comment. Comment length is dictated by limitations of the platform being used, Teams Q&A, Facebook, and YouTube. In-person comments will be accepted first, followed by comments submitted virtually. The meeting comment period is limited to a total of 30 minutes, including both in-person and virtual comments. This time period may be extended at the discretion of the board. Please be concise. Comments that are germane to county business will be read during the meetings and should not be considered to be interactive dialogue with the commissioners. The county solicitor shall be the final arbiter of whether a comment is germane and should be read. Any commissioner response to public comment will be done at the discretion of the commissioners.
Thank you very much, Anne Marie. There's no public comment on specific agenda items, either online or in person. So we will move right into the agenda. Item 1, authorizing under that. Budget Department, adopt a resolution authorizing 2023 transfers in the amount of $506,212 and 2023 appropriations in the amount of $113,874 per listing dated August 25th of 2023. There's several items listed under Human Resources. Item 1, authorize the appointment of Shannon Pascal, Assistant Public Defender 4 in the Public Defender's Office. Item 2, authorize the appointment of Melissa Lewis to Application Specialist and Trainer, Information Systems. Item 3, authorize the appointment of Matthew Baim to Network Engineer, Information Systems. Item 4, authorize the promotion of Brandon Adams from Telecommunicator 6 to Watch Officer in the Department of Emergency Services. Item 5, authorize the promotion of Robert Mounts Jr. from Telecommunicator 6 to Watch Officer. Item 6, authorize the promotion of Michelle Reinhardt from Nursing Administrative Secretary to Director of Volunteers and Clerical Services at the Berks. We have 2 items listed under purchasing. Item A, adopt a resolution authorizing a recommendation to award and further authorize the Director of Contracts and Procurement to execute one agreement as a result of an invitation to bid for light poles, repair, and replacement for the Facilities Department as follows. It goes to DIS Associates out of Elkton, Maryland. Estimated annual expenditure of $149,007.50. Item B, Adopt a resolution authorizing a recommendation to award and further authorize the Director of Contracts and Procurement to execute a contract as a result of an invitation to bid for recycling services for a period of 1 year with 3 one-year options to extend. That goes to Kugel's Recycling out of Hamburg, Pennsylvania. Estimated annual expenditure of $38,200. There are several items listed under the Commissioners. Item A, adopt a resolution authorizing the chair to execute an amendment to the Memorandum of Understanding between the Council on Chemical Abuse and the County of Berks, expanding the Medication Assisted Treatment Program to include the addition of medical staff, expansion of inmates eligible to participate in the program, and extending the terms of the agreement until such time as the national opioid settlement funds are exhausted. Item B, adopt a resolution authorizing Stephanie D. Williams, Administrator for the Berks County Library System, to enter into and execute library visit agreements with participating local preschools pursuant to the system will supply community engagement specialists to provide story times and information about library services to children who are the focus of early literacy programs at those preschools. Item C, adopt a resolution authorizing the execution of an agreement terminating the existing lease between the County of Berks and the Pennsylvania State University on behalf of the Berks County 4-H effective August 31st of 2023, and to execute and record a memorandum of lease termination subject to final review and approval by the county solicitor. Item D, adopt a resolution authorizing the Chief Operations Officer, or in his absence, the Deputy Chief Operations Officer, to execute hold harmless agreements with users of the former Berks County 4-H Center building and/or grounds, subject to final review and approval by the county solicitor beginning September 1st of 2023. Items C and D might sound confusing to some people. We've had a 4-H center behind the Ag Center for decades. And it has been owned, the building has been owned by Penn State Extension. Either late last year or early this year, Penn State Extension reached out to the county and said, we want to get out of that building. We don't want to have to maintain it, take care of it. Would the county take it over? And so we've been working with them over the past several months to do that. And these two actions address that. The first one has to do with the termination of the long-term lease agreement. I want to assure people there's no issue between Penn State Extension and the County of Berks. We have a great relationship. They are key players in our Ag Center. They will remain in our Ag Center. They're partners in the partners. They run the Masters Gardeners program, provide a lot of support, not just for the farm community, but also for people that have gardens and different things like that and participate in their program. So this is just simply, they no longer wanted to have to operate and maintain the building. The county will be taking that over, and really over the next number of months, we'll be determining the highest and best use for that. But that's what those two items are about. I don't know, Larry, if you want to add anything. I know you've been leading this effort.
Thank you, Commissioner. I think our biggest goal is, for the time being anyway, to make sure that the transition is seamless and that the people that are used to using the different groups that come and utilize the 4-H Center will be able to continue to do so.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. With that, item 2, a motion to authorize execution of contract agreements and amendments is set forth on the contract agenda listing dated August the 28th of 2023. There are a total of 5 contracts. There are 2 with the Area Agency on Aging, 2 with Children and Youth Services and Juvenile Probation, and 1 with the Department of Emergency Services. Item 3, a motion to authorize execution of the payments and electronic transfers for the week ending August 31st of 2023.
Motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Second?
The motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The motion is carried. With that, we'll move to reports of our treasurer and controller. We'll begin with our acting treasurer, Socrates Georgiadis.
Good morning, all. We
Good
have
morning.
an opening balance today of $249,278,877.24. We have a balance to clear of $2,385,275.21, leaving us with a balance of $246,893,602.03.
Thank you very much, Socrates. We'll move now to our county controller's report. And sitting in for our county controller, we have Andrew Knoll. Andrew?
Good morning.
Good morning.
For the week ended August 31st, we have accounts payable of $5,859,723.63. We also have a payroll of $4,932,249.82 for a total cash disbursement of $10,791,973.45.
Thank you very much, Andrew. And we'll move now to report from our, in this case, Deputy Chief Operations Officer, Larry Medaglia.
Good morning. Thank you, Commissioner. I think people may have noticed that we have some deputy sheriffs that have been assisting in our parks the last couple of weeks, and I wanted to acknowledge their efforts. Our goal, this board's goal, has been to ensure the safety of the people that use the parks and to enhance the enjoyment of the visitors in our parks, and I think that has gone extremely well. The partnership that has been made between the Sheriff's Department and our park rangers, and I wanted to take this opportunity to acknowledge them and thank them for the effort that they have made so that our visitors and the families can really enjoy the great experience that is available to them in the parks, and I wanted to thank the board for their support of that endeavor. That's all I have. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you very much, Larry. And that's a very good point about the sheriffs. Some people may remember we had some real challenges last year, primarily Red Bridge, with folks going into the Topahakan Creek, not just swimming, which isn't allowed, but taking in their grills out in the middle of the creek. And huge crowds. We heard from some of the neighbors. It was a real challenge. We worked with, was it Bern Township, I believe, police, but it was a real challenge. And I compliment you and Kevin and the COO team in getting together with the sheriff, and ultimately the sheriff agreeing to provide support on weekends. I believe there have been, not only have there been no arrests, there have been no citations to the best of my knowledge, and yet they have dealt with some fairly large crowds and have been able to disperse them, get them to comply. And so far, we've had no complaints this year, been able to deal with that. And I know that our park rangers would have been overwhelmed trying to handle this on their own. Plus, our park rangers, they do a great job, but they're not law enforcement. They don't have the power that comes behind a badge and an armed sheriff's deputy. And so I compliment our sheriff's department, but also our COO team and our sheriff for working together to solve what was a real challenge. And we knew it was going to be a challenge again this year, and it would have been out of control if we weren't doing this. So thank you. With that, we'll turn to commissioners' comments, and we'll begin with Commissioner Michael Rivera.
Thank you, Commissioner Linebaugh. Excuse me. I also want to take the opportunity to thank the Sheriff's Office for the work they're doing at the parks and their professionalism in dealing with the people there, and also to the people that they've interacted with for their compliance and understanding as to what the park rules are and aren't, what can and can't be done there. So I really do appreciate both the sheriffs and the people that have been helping to make sure that everyone can enjoy the parks now and well into the future as well. A few other things I want to bring up is this past Sunday, Commissioner Linebaugh and I were participants of the annual Ride for Freedom. I'm not going to get into it too much because I see he has his patch there, and I'm sure he's going to be talking about it. So no need to duplicate what went on that Sunday. But I do want to say it's very, very impressive. This is my third year there. Like I said when I spoke there, the one thing that caught my attention during the ride was that there was a lady in Warnersville standing and she had a sign that said, "Thank you for caring." And that was the most shocking thing for me. You know, you had thousands of motorcycles. You had all the police departments from Warnersville into Reading. The Reading Police Department had people, Wilmersdorf, following and leading caravan into Reading. We had the sheriff's deputies there as well. But that one sign, "Thank you for caring," that summarized it all, because that's why the people were there. That's why the organizers put this together, because they care about our prisoners of war and those missing in action, and making sure that there's closure that can be brought to the families of those who are still not here. So, but I'll let Commissioner Linebaugh speak more about that event. I just want to remind everyone that this Saturday from 10 to 6 p.m. is the 20th anniversary of the Taste of Hamburger Festival, and this is in downtown Hamburg. So if you're in the area, make sure you go. There's thousands of people there, different types of hamburgers, drinks, a lot of fun there. So again, this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. in Hamburg, we should have good weather for it. Also, September is the Berks Library celebrate the National Library Card Sign-Up Month. So in September, Berks County Libraries are encouraging everyone to stop by their local library to register for a library card as part of the library sign-up month. If you're not sure what your library has, make sure you go by, find out where it is, go visit it. There's books, there's audio books, there's glasses for people that are colorblind. I mean, there's tons of things at the library. So make sure that you go visit your library and sign up for the card if you have not already done so, because there's tons of things that you'll find at our local libraries here. They all do a great job in serving our community. Another item that's important as well in September is Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. And suicide is something that can affect anyone. It doesn't matter your age or your race, your ethnicity, your economic, social background. It's something that can affect anyone. And you need to make sure that we're aware of this and that we are not ignoring people who may be having suicidal thoughts. Many times suicidal thoughts are attached to mental health illnesses as well. Just want to make sure that we raise awareness and discuss this highly stigmatic topic. There's something that I learned at the Ride for Freedom on Sunday was, and I don't know if you're going to talk about her, but there's an estimated 22 veterans that commit suicide on a daily basis in the United States. So that's something that is not acceptable. There was someone there on Sunday who wrapped her Jeep, and the purpose is to bring this awareness of 22 veteran suicides a day in the United States. A few things happening for Suicide Prevention Month is the National Alliance on Mental Illness, or NAMI, of Berks County will be holding their first ever It's Okay Not to Be Okay 5K run or walk on Saturday, September 9th in Grings Mill Recreational Area. For more information, you can go to NAMI.org for more information there. For those who can't run 5K, you can do the walk for the 5K. So again, that is September 9th in support of mental illness and suicide prevention. Also, the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention will be holding their Out of the Darkness Community Walk on Saturday, September 23rd at Jim Dietrich Park. For more information on this, you can Google Out of the Darkness Walk 2023, and there'll be a link there to the one that's happening here in Reading. And one other item around suicide prevention is Berks County has a hotline that you can call if you have any suicidal thoughts, or if there's anyone that you know that has suicidal thoughts, and it's Are You Okay Berks? You can go to areyookberks.com, or you can call the hotline at 610-379-2007. Again, 610-379-2007, or simply Google the letters R, the letter U, OK, Berks, and it will take you to the information. Again, areyookberks.com. And last but not least, on Monday, we celebrate Labor Day. I want to wish everyone a happy Labor Day. And on Labor Day, we pay tribute to the contributions of achievements of the American workers. So I want to take the opportunity to thank all of the county staff, the county employees who day in and day out represent the county, or the face of county government, and work hard for the county and the citizens of Berks County. So to those of you sitting in this room or watching here, thank you for the work that you do, and enjoy Labor Day on Monday. That's all I have. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Rivera. And I'm going to deviate slightly and recognize our County Solicitor, Christine Sadler. She has some special recognition.
Thank you, Commissioner Leinbach. This morning, I would like to welcome aboard Kathleen Morrison from my office. She is a Berks County resident, but she comes to us from Lancaster County. So Lancaster County's loss is certainly our gain. So welcome, Kathleen, to the team. We're excited to have you on board, and look forward to you guys getting to know Kathleen as part of our team. Please welcome her. Thank you.
Badly at all about Lancaster losing a good person. And you can tell Josh and Ray and Amber Martin and everybody down there that when they really figured out, they'll realize Berks is better.
Well, she is a Berks resident, so it's better that she work in Berks and travel to Lancaster. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
So,
Well, she realized that. That's why she's with us. So welcome. And with that, I will now turn to Commissioner Lucine Sahelnick.
Thank you, Commissioner Leinbach, and welcome, Kathleen. It's a great team to be a part of, and I certainly live that every day. We share some comments, so I was crossing off some things on my list, because really we do make the best effort to represent Berks County cohesively together as colleagues. Some of the things that we have been doing together that I hope that are not on your list. But we did enjoy spending some time with tours this week. We were able to walk through College Town and see their School of Nursing. And why is that important to report on? Because that's where the county has invested money. Imagine Berks and the funding that we're putting forward towards the legacy projects that we know that will better enhance Berks County. So congratulations to Alvernia on their progression of that project. And we also were able to spend some time yesterday with the Berks IDA, who is an authority or a partner of the county. And of course, our Director of Community and Economic Development, Pam Shupp, works directly with that authority and their board members, and had a lovely tour of some of the projects here in the city of Reading with Alan Schuman, in which, again, that bridge financing is supporting really the revitalization and the strength of economic development here in Berks County. So thank you to the commissioners for joining me and being out in the community and seeing what we're really doing. What is the impact of our support in the community? This week, we are not having an election board meeting, and that's typically on Thursdays as needed. So I'd like to take a moment just to report on something that may be of importance to you that is occurring this week. You may have seen that there was support in moving forward the initiative to change the date of the primary of the presidential elections. So if you're following that, you may also know that Senator Judy Schwenk is a supporter She's also the chair of the Jewish Legislative Caucus. And so the discussion is really around, should we change that date of the primary moving forward? So if you're interested, I know you can bring that with your comments to the Board of Elections. I know we will consider that in conversation as it approaches finality and consideration, especially significant, I think, because the primaries typically will fall on a Jewish holiday of Passover. That really does affect in our constituents' availability to go and vote and participate in that right to vote on that day because of the observance of their holiday, but also it affects their ability to work at the polls, which is somewhere where since the pandemic, we have struggled. There's always a call out through Berks County Election Services Department for poll workers and judges and for the community to be involved. And so these are all part of the important areas of focus in considering or making that consideration for change the date of the primary. Again, if you are interested in that, that's something that you can tune in through our Board of Elections, which typically will convene as needed on Thursdays at 12:15. That being said, something to save the date because September is just around the corner that caught my eye. September 25th, there is a program hosted by the Berks Alliance. This is a virtual program, so anybody can attend. And the topic is the Berks County Whole Home Repair Program, which you have heard us talk about. And this was such a successful program hosted by the Berks County Redevelopment Authority that when we opened the application for this program, it opened on July 11th and the application period closed due to an overwhelming number of applicants. So again, I think these are significant investments that we are holding in Berks County to be used for repairs, similar to programs like facade repairs. And so save the date, September 25th. It will be at noon. You can register in advance. There's a Zoom link. It is hosted by the Berks Alliance and also the Habitat for Humanity. So again, to see how we're showcasing our investments here in the county for better quality of life and improvements with our community. So that being said, we move on to Labor Day, wishing everybody a happy Labor Day, almost a moment to kind of reset and refresh. As we all do work hard in whatever it is that we do. We know a lot of us, and I've talked about the back to school time period, which we've been going through. So this is an important long weekend to kind of reset, refresh, and encourage everybody to be the best version of themselves moving forward into the incoming month ahead. So last but not least, I always like to talk about our Berks County Parks and Rec system because as our Deputy COO mentioned, we really have been investing in making sure that the enjoyment of our parks is being held and had by all. So I'm going to, let's see if I need your help this time. I'm going to hit the right side or the left side of my screen check. I did it. Look at that. Share my screen. We have our September County Berks County Parks and Rec. And you can see here, the URL is countyofberks.com. You can always go online to our website, which I will continue to promote as a hub and a resource for information. You see our programming here. So Saturday, September 2nd, there's a wellness walk and a lot of nice, diverse programming for people of all ages in Berks County. So make sure that you get something on the calendar. Look at this full moon walk and yoga, Friday, September 29th. I might put that one on mine. So take care, be well, enjoy your long weekend, and we'll see you next week. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lucine. If you want to unshare, I'm going to jump into sharing my screen. Commissioner Rivera mentioned the Ride for Freedom, and I want to share a little bit from that, some photos. They actually begin with the Reading Motorcycle Club at the Reading Motorcycle Club headquarters in the Ole area, and they leave there 9:30 and ride up to Wilmersdorf. Most of the motorcycles meet up at Wilmersdorf. This is myself along with Kenny LeBron, our director of our VA department, and our brand new deputy director, Will Tobin. He was riding with Lee, and we'll go through this quickly. This was mentioned. This young lady is Stacy Madonna Ayers. This Jeep is a 2022 Jeep as part of Mission 22. That is intentional. The silhouette is a silhouette of her brother, who committed suicide 30 years ago, less than a year out of service from the Navy. He was unable to cope with coming back into civilian life. And she's made this Jeep as a memory to him and a statement to bring attention to the issue of veteran suicide. She met us up at Veterans Grove at Reading City Park. We were able to park it right behind the VA table. The front of the Jeep, 22 veterans a day is too many. And the interesting thing, BAM, that is the initials of her brother in his handwriting. It's a little bit harder to see on this side, but again, 22 too many. This is a hat on a soldier down at the wall in Vietnam Wall in DC. And then this is the back, and she doesn't miss a thing. She got a license plate that's BAM. Those are the initials of her brother. He was born in 1968 and died in 1992. This is the area of the Vietnam Memorial at Veterans City Park before the program began. This is our VA director talking to a veteran, Will Tobin, our deputy, and Ed Jankowski, who just started, I want to say like a week or two ago, as our new education coordinator. And again, Stacy in the back here. One of the things that is done every year, they read all the names of all the POWs and MIAs for Pennsylvania. All of us participated in this. We got in line, took a PO or handed a POW MIA flag. And when a name was called, the next person in line would walk up and place that in front of the statue. This is an image of me placing a flag. Commissioner Rivera is able to salute because he is an Army veteran. This is Stacy Madonna. And they've been leading this effort for 30 years. This was the 30th anniversary. The paper said we had over 2,000 motorcycles. I'm not sure that we did. It seemed like there were fewer motorcycles this year than last year. And then every year they end with everyone that was able to grab hold of the POW MIA flag. Before I show you two quick videos, I do want to say that of all the years I've been riding, and I've been riding about half of those 30 years, this was the largest crowd that I saw, starting in Wilmersdorf all the way up to West Reading. Once we got into West Reading and Reading, there was almost no one, but there were people parked in parking lots on the side of the road with American flags. I saw the same lady that he was talking about. She had a cardboard sign. It was clearly written in marker, handwritten, "Thank you for caring." And I was so touched. Every year I go by and I think, well, this is affecting me this way this year. I'm affected the same way every year. And it gives me hope that there are people that will just come out and say, we're here. We support not a political party. We're not here to support a candidate. We're here to support the cause of the POW MIA that we will always remember. So I'm going to share two clips. This will give you a little bit of an idea of the ceremony that I described.
Clydesdale,
No, sir.
Charles Frederick, March 15th, 1965. Lynn Doyle Wilmer, May 20.
Going to stop sharing here. Everyone that attended got one of these patches, and it says the 30th annual Ride for Freedom. I touched the flag and it touched me. I don't know who came up with the idea. RMC handed them out, but I encourage you, if you've never participated in a ride, there's a candlelight vigil that'll be coming up later in September. I would absolutely encourage you to go out. It's not about whether or not you have a loved one that's been touched as a POW or MIA. It is more about a message to the men and women, that are serving, that we will never forget. And it's a message to the families that are still waiting for answers on where's my son, where's my daughter, that have never had a closure. They've never had a funeral because they don't know where their son or daughter is. Last two items that touch on very quickly. Tomorrow night is the Latino Chamber Night at the Fightin' Phils. I know a number of us will be there. If you come early enough, you will see something very special, a world famous, I don't know if he's a pitcher. I don't even know if he's world famous. He might even be infamous, but Commissioner Rivera is going to be throwing out a first pitch. It'll probably be one of 50 first pitches, but he's doing it. So if you want to come out and see how he does, that'll be a great opportunity.
Famous in my own mind.
Famous in your own mind. But it makes a lot of sense. It's the Latino Chamber Night, great opportunity to come out and support our local Reading Fightin' Phils, and looking forward to having a great time. Hamburger Festival on Saturday. I have to say something about it. I live outside of Hamburg, and we go every single year, and I'll be going as well. And then also, I hope everyone enjoys the Labor Day picnic. I don't know if there used to be parade in Reading when I was first elected. I was in it a number of times, but we're celebrating the men and women that work. We take it for granted that our economy is great because we have companies like Amazon. It's great because we have companies like Ford, and those companies play a role. But in the end, one, it's small businesses that make up the backbone of the American economy, and it's workers that make up the backbone of business. A business doesn't have workers, they have nothing. And so our workers are the people that we celebrate this coming Labor Day. That's all that I have. Any comment from our row officers? Hearing none, we have no public comment in person.
I dismissed the one public comment online. There was no name in municipality.
Okay, so I was just looking. So there was a comment online, but no name, no municipality, so we're not reading the comment. That's all that we have on the agenda.
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
The meeting stands adjourned.